people. I'm not in this actual community. My child is one of the ones that's in the special program. And for 3 years, I tried to get my younger daughter into the school. I was willing to drive her in so they'd be in the same school. She was in a 35-student kindergarten class. She would have been in a much smaller one here. I would have saved the bus fare for my son, so I drive both in. Why was the school closed for optional attendance? If you want students in, why are we not allowed to come in?
They really don't like her.
I don't know what school you're referencing. I don't want to ask.
Elizabeth Simcoe.
Okay, so Elizabeth Simcoe is, when you go into Simcoe, there's only available space because there's daycares in there, which we know of, and I think they have 2 spaces in there. The challenge of Simcoe is the open space, right? At the end of the school, which was the new build to the school before Jack Miner was built. So when you go into the open space, on the 2nd floor, they have 2 gifted classrooms. When I was at Simcoe, we had 4 classes up there in open space, and it was loud and it was noisy. But that's when we sat in rows at desks, and that's pretty much how kids don't learn anymore. We try not to. So we're really resistant and reluctant to stacking another class up on that top floor. The bottom floor is where the other space is, and we have a library on one side, so that's access for all the students. And on the other side, again, it's all open space, and again, that's also it's a learning commons for students. So unless we were to take over half of that library, we don't have a classroom because of the way that the school is
So
designed.
specifically, Simcoe doesn't have any extra classrooms, but what about the other 2 schools?
So Guildwood is open to optional attendance. Poplar Road, again, when you talk about, the reference back to the utilization rates, because we have, it's full, right? You go every single room, and the principal's here, every single room in the school is full, except for one, which is used as a lunchroom and an overflow space for students. Because we also have classrooms with the developmentally delayed students, and although what the ministry is saying, and they're showing that we can put more kids in there, we're saying, no, we have a classroom with 8, up to 10 students, but that room is meant to hold about 23 students. And we're saying, no, we're not putting that in there. We need that space for that. So that's why Poplar Road and Simcoe have been closed for so long. Guildwood is the one that has the space that's open for optional attendance, as is Jack Miner. And Jack Miner has, as we showed earlier, there's students from BP Mackey that come down and go to Jack Miner. Okay?
Yes. Guildwood is advertised on the TDSU website as limited.
Yeah, so limited means, and that's open, except for, so for example, if we showed that slide earlier, there's 5 spots in the senior kindergarten, absolutely. But in your grade 6 class, there were over 36 students. So we would not take a student under optional attendance into grade 6 at Guildwood because that's crazy. It's already full. We would in junior kindergarten, senior kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 because there was room available.
We've got about 10 minutes left and a lot of questions still, so please, if you're here, we will get a chance to jot it down, stick up on these papers, we will answer them. Sir.
So to the previous comment, you said that there is no space actually to open new classes, and at the same time, you're saying that the utilization is 70%. So what's 100%? Particularly in Elizabeth Simcoe School.
Right.
I think 71% utilization based on your chart.
Right. So why it shows 71%? So the open space that Carrie Lynn was talking about earlier, the ministry rates that as 4 classrooms. Okay, so that's what, 92 spaces. They're using it as 2 classrooms. 46.
That's how it was when I was there in grade 6 too. And when I was there in kindergarten, we had kindergarten in the back room behind the library. So there is space.
That's want to create another classroom, but that's still not gonna help the facility condition index. It's gonna bump up the principal budget a little bit, because we'll have another student in every class. But again, the space for those students, they use it, and you go up there and you see them working in areas. It is a luxury space, but do we want to give that up to one of our class? That's not going to make any difference in terms of this process at this time.
No, I still didn't get the methodology you're calculating the ratio. Like, what is the percentage here?
Enrollment divided by the capacity gives you your percentage.
So what is the capacity?
Oh, sorry.
No, again, assuming that the full capacity is reached, is it really feasible? Is it possible to fit all of this 100 capacity into the school, or maybe the numbers are not correct from the beginning?
The capacity is calculated based on the programs that are in the school. So those rooms that are rated at 9 for the special ed classes, if we remove the special ed classes out and turn them into regular classes, then they'd be rated at 23 and the capacity would go up.
The other thing
So
is,
every year that fluctuates based on how we place special education classes in schools.
and daycare isn't counted as part of the utilization. So daycare's in the school, they're using a room, but the ministry's not counting that as part of our utilization rate.
In a K-6, and this calls out, primary is capped at 20. So why is each classroom being used at 23 in a K-6 when up to grade 3 or 4?
So I'm going to speak for the ministry and what I think, why they rated rooms like that. Over the average of the number of classrooms you have is 23, because it's capped at 20 in the primary. But in your juniors, 27, 28, 29, 31, 36, whatever. Well, in some cases, when the room gets so small, your alternative sometimes is a triple split. I mean, can you imagine a triple split?
Right down here. Can you speak up so everyone can hear you? Sorry.
Here, so what we're discussing is basically contingency planning and disaster recovery on this, right? I don't mean to put cats in the negative, like you have to do what you have to do. But, I mean, one thing we haven't really mentioned is that, okay, we did mention that funding is based on the number of students that a school has in the population, for example. Seems to me the only way to increase that is to get people to want to go to those schools. So you need people with young families. And how are they going to be attracted? How are these schools going to be made more attractive? That's the bottom line. That's essentially what it is. Unfortunately, for better or for worse, the things that people look at, word of mouth reputation, racial virtue rankings, all that kind of stuff that may or may not necessarily be indicative of how the great true quality of the school really is in the community. This is an amazing place. I mean, you have incredible green space, the neighborhood is fantastic, people who live here are fantastic. Yeah, okay, we don't have a lot of shopping and this and that and whatever, but it's a pretty incredible space in the city of Toronto right now. How is that being
Well, again, we do try and attract them through programming. That's the number one way we can do it. Offering programming. But again, parents have to be willing to bring their kids into the deal, drive now if they're not already living here. Right? Well, I don't know how we get young families. Well, okay, I'll take it. I'll accept that. Yeah, we've got 5 minutes left and an awful lot of questions to serve.
One way to make
I'm trying to go all around the room and start now, so at the back.
one way to make a school attractive, and I can speak to this because I work at a school that's been recently changed. And when I first started teaching at that school, it was a K-6 school, and it transitioned towards a K-8. It was a smaller school. It was in the Upper Beaches area, and it was in an attractive neighborhood. And over that time, the size of the school moved from 300s to well over 500. And that's because it had a lot of attractive features put into it. It turned to a K-8. It became a French immersion school. It provided programming that was sign language, speaking Spanish, speaking additional French, having cooking classes, having connections to the community where we're able to partnership with the high school. It had a lot of different things that were going on. It got the solar panels, it got the new roof. See, these things are all positive elements, and it really does attract. And if you're thinking about community and you're thinking about your financial of your house and things like that that I'm thinking of, then I'm looking at all those elements as a positive attribute to any school, and all three schools. The last thing I'd want to do is close Guildwood or Poplar or Elizabeth Simcoe where my son goes, or my grade 1 teachers right over there went at Guildwood Public School. But I really want everyone to understand that K to 8 symbol is really a positive thing for the community, because it does attract people to that community. It does attract because it provides school programs that are during the day and after school that we're all looking for. So having that in your back of your mind as an option, really, as us all thinking about it, is really something positive.
So there has been.
And it's nice to see you, Ms. Rule.
That was a comment.
I'm just stating it as a thought process, just for all of us as we're going through it.
On the topic of urban planning, and you kind of hinted at that earlier, how far are you willing to go in thinking? And I have emotion in this too. I mean, I'm sitting in my former high school. 2 of my former schools are on that map. My daughters are affected. But okay, I can willingly suspend some emotion. When you talk about bringing people in, like, do you have a conversation with the Catholic board? And are you willing to think, because I grew up there was never, in the libraries, no bigger than it was when I was here. I got my hair cut at the same barber. Do you think the community center hybrid with daycare, an amalgamation, bring everything, we got it. These things are old, our homes are almost some of the same age as some of these schools. Do you consider that, or is it just simply triage, solving the problem strategically, and, you know, where do you go with it? I mean, like, how reasonable is it, or is it just too wild and fanciful of thoughts here? If you want to drop people in, this could be a jewel of an area. We have the Minister of Education, we have...
Our primary responsibility as a Board of Education is K to 12 education.
Right.
It is not within our mandate to go out and promote, like, sell real estate. I don't know how to do that. That's not within my area of expertise. But we do consider looking at partnerships within the community for things like you say, other government. What was North Toronto?
Well, North Toronto was something we did a development for the, like a co-development.
Yeah.
But Jerry, that was in the day when we had to raise our own tax.
Right.
And now, I think it's actually, well, right now, so I was referring to